They were Devin Chandler, a second year from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Lavel Davis, a third-year student from Ridgeville, South Carolina, and Deshaun Perry, a fourth-year student from Miami, Florida. All three were members of the football team.
Heartbreak at the University of Virginia tonight. 3 UVA football players killed by a fellow student in an on-campus shooting. One of the victims, a Lowcountry football standout, Lavel Davis Jr., who tonight is being remembered for being humble, a friend to all, and a family guy. Our Sports 4 team will have much more on the community grieving. But first, details on the 22-year-old suspect, Christopher Jones, who is now in police custody.
Pardon me.
This was the moment. University Police Chief Tim Longo, in front of university leaders and a packed room of journalists, learned the suspect was in custody.
We just received information the suspect is in custody.
An emotional moment and sigh of relief after the University of Virginia campus was on lockdown for 12 hours as police searched for former UVA football player, 22-year-old Christopher Darnell Jones Jr., the suspected shooter.
The shootings occurred on a bus full of students returning from a field trip. 3 of the victims did not survive.
For hours, you could see the bus behind the state police crime scene truck as detectives gathered evidence. It was supposed to be a fun trip to D.C., a class field trip to see a play. But after they returned, police say Devin Chandler from Virginia Beach and Deshaun Perry from Miami, Florida were shot and killed.
Where they had been for the day, enjoying a school activity, having a meal together, and coming back to our grounds, and someone amongst them chose to do an act of violence.
Lavel Davis Jr. from Ridgeville, South Carolina, was taken to the hospital and later died. 2 other students were injured.
My heart is broken for the victims and their families and for all those who knew and loved them, and they are all in my prayers.
But were there warning signs? University police said Jones was brought to the attention of the threat assessment team at the Office of Student Affairs this fall.
They received information that Mr. Jones had made a comment about possessing a gun to a person that was unaffiliated with the university.
Chief Longo says the report didn't come with threats. Plus, Student Affairs followed up with a roommate who didn't see a gun. Then there were reports of a hazing incident. That case, police say, was also closed because witnesses wouldn't cooperate.
But through the course of the threat assessment team's investigation, we learned of a prior criminal incident involving a concealed weapon violation that occurred outside the city of Charlottesville in February of 2021.
Now Jones is facing more charges, 3 counts of second-degree murder and 3 counts of using a handgun in the commission of a felony. I'm Joy Wang.
As we mentioned, this tragedy sadly has a Lowcountry connection. Our Sports 4 team sports director Scott Eisberg and Natalie Spalla join us from outside Lavel Davis Jr.'s high school with more. Guys.
Good evening, Katie. This one really hits close to home. It hurts really hard for us who covered him as well as for folks here in this rural Dorchester County community.
Exactly. His family with deep roots in the Ridgeville area, and then his legacy left a long, long time here at Woodland.
No question about it. Davis making a huge impact at Virginia from the moment he stepped on campus. One of the top wideouts in the ACC, made quite a few folks here pretty big Cavalier fans.
And he kept in touch well with his hometown. Several coaches still on staff saying they FaceTime with him regularly. Needless to say, for a school, for a program having one of the best years in their history with a playoff game on Friday, everything put in perspective today.
Yeah, ironically, I checked in with him just last week just to see how he was doing. Yeah, I watch every Virginia game, on Saturday, and, not watching, seeing he wasn't on the field a couple weeks ago, and just checking in with him. And, but, it's a tough day.
You can talk to anybody and they're all going to say these same things, not just, me or his family, just anyone that has a chance to meet him. It's just, that's the first thing they're going to say. Just what a nice, friendly guy.